Abortion can be another word for mercy.
Jesus in the octagon.
Welcome to TMZ.
How would me versus Jesus in the octagon? I tell you what, there's not a man alive that can beat me. But Jesus ain't alive, is he? So I don't know. Maybe he could come back from the dead. I don't know. I'd still whoop his ass.
The God I serve doesn't care whether you're tall or short, or whether you were born black or Asian or gay.
Moms are holding strong with 3 shout-outs. God, creator of the universe, 0 mentions.
These popular Hollywood celebrities thought they could mock Jesus and get away with it. From Nikki's derogatory statements that led to the California fires, to Madonna's catastrophic fall during a live performance. Here are 10 celebrities who mocked God and suffered dire consequences. Number 10, Anne Hathaway. Once in an interview with the women of The View, they got into a very sensitive topic of abortion, and as a result, what it said was so controversial it would make your ears tingle.
One other thing, and just without going into too many details, my own personal experience with abortion, and I don't think we talk about this enough, abortion can be another word for mercy. We don't know. We don't know. It's not a world in which we know that no 2 pregnancies are alike, and it follows that no 2 lives are alike. That follows that no 2 conceptions are alike. Yep. So how can we have a law?
Not only did Anne Hathaway characterize abortion as another word for mercy, she went on to call for a law to legalize her twisted idea of flexibility.
We have a point of view on this that says we must treat everything the same, and where I come at it from is when you allow for choice, you allow for flexibility, which is what we need in order to be human. So that, anyway, I just wanted to include that part. Especially for that. It's not set in stone. Just because you get pregnant doesn't mean you get to keep that baby.
Yeah, it's a health decision.
And it can be. It really can be.
Yeah, right.
She later brutally bashed by her fans and audiences. And there's a call for everyone to be careful of what we profess as believers. Else we end up leading many astray, even though that was not the original intention. Because that would bring the greatest repercussions of all, leading another person to ruin because of our words.
Like that. Why was it important to you to write something like that?
Because we're in the fight.
Yeah.
We're in the fight every day. We're in the fight every minute. And you mentioned the Devil Wears Prada turning sweet 16.
Yeah.
Some 16-year-old's life has been irrevocably changed because of the current overturning of Roe v. Wade. And in this character, I played a young woman who was starting out her career. And when you are a young woman starting out your career, your reproductive destiny matters a great deal.
Of course. Yeah.
And I just...
Number 9. Christian Bale. In 2019, during his Golden Globes acceptance speech for Best Actor in a Motion Picture Musical or Comedy for his portrayal of Dick Cheney in Vice, Christian Bale quipped, "Thank you to Satan for giving me inspiration on how to play this role."
Thank you to Satan for giving me inspiration.
What he fails to realize is that this was a stark mockery of God. Before now, he had often spoken about his Christian upbringing and expressed views that conflict with traditional Christian teachings. For instance, he has publicly supported abortion rights and spoken out in favor of women's right to choose despite the Bible's teachings on the sanctity of life.
Why is Christianity constantly despised, demeaned, depreciated? Why is there such an all-out assault on Christianity?
Christian Bale couldn't even live up to his name when occasion called for it, despite having received a godly upbringing. Number 8. Katy Perry. In 2014, Katy's Dark Horse music video depicted an Egyptian queen disintegrating suitors, one of whom wore a pendant inscribed with the Arabic word for God, Allah. This portrayal led to accusations of blasphemy from the Muslim community, prompting over 60,000 signatures on a petition for the video's removal.
Katy Perry arrives at a Los Angeles courthouse wearing a mint green power suit. The pop star is accused of plagiarizing the underlying beat in her big hit, Dark Horse, from 2013.
Katy Perry just took the stand here at the federal courthouse in Los Angeles, where she explained her process for writing her music. Gospel rapper Marcus Gray, who goes by the name Flame, is suing her for copyright infringement.
But that wasn't even the worst of it. Following these incidents, Perry encountered several professional challenges. Her 2024 album, 143, received negative reviews, criticized for being outdated and lacking originality. Collaborations with controversial producer Dr. Luke further increased the backlash. Additionally, her 2025 world tour experienced disappointing ticket sales.
After a 7-year break, Katy Perry is hitting the road again.
The singer just announced a series of concert dates for her upcoming Lifetimes tour. Perry says she'll have fans help pick the songs to perform on this 40 scheduled stop, and it's worldwide. The tour kicks off April 16th in Austin, Texas. She's also playing the United Center. That'll be on May 12th. Tickets go on sale to the general public Friday.
Reports indicate up to 70% of seats unsold in certain cities. Were those just weird coincidences? Or could they be the professional setbacks consequences of her earlier mockery of the faith? Number 7, Oprah Winfrey. Despite often speaking about spirituality, Oprah Winfrey has often made statements that are quite troubling to Christianity.
I've seen it in the Bible. It clearly states that homosexuality is wrong. And I feel that you are a powerful woman and you have done so much. And if you are going to represent yourself as a Christian and then you're going to go on the show and say that you also support that, it's double standarding.
Well, I have a different view of Christian than you do.
In a 2015 episode of her show, Oprah suggested that there are many paths to God, which contradicts the Christian belief in the exclusivity of Jesus Christ as the way to salvation, as seen in John 14, verse 6. But the most striking part, which many see as a disregard for God, was how she responded when this lady asked Oprah why she does a show that promotes homosexuality.
In the Bible, it clearly states that homosexuality is wrong. And I feel that you are a powerful woman and you have done so much. And if you are going to represent yourself as a Christian and then you're going to go on the show and say that you also support that.
Now listen to what Oprah's reply was.
Double standarding.
Well, I have a different view of Christian than you do. Okay? And the God I serve doesn't care whether you're tall or short or whether you were born black or Asian or gay. And so that's just a difference of belief. And I don't expect to change your belief today because just before I came down here, I'm late today because I was in the...
Her statements call us to ask if the God she serves is the God she made for herself, because I doubt if Oprah really stands for that God in what she does in most of her shows.
Oprah knows who I am. I can't wait to tell Jesus. I'm gonna look so cool.
Now, God, I don't mean to hurry you along, but is there, something you'd like to tell Oprah?
Oh, yeah. I hear thou seekest a sign. Well, is this clear enough?
Not only was this irreverent and completely irrelevant, it's a very low blow to Christianity. And while Oprah's mockery may not have had immediate consequences yet, it's only a matter of time, unless she makes intentional efforts to redeem her actions. Number 6, Deontay Wilder. Back in 2018, Deontay Wilder openly mocked the Christian God in an interview before an upcoming boxing match against Tyson Fury.
Like you, and I can say I can love you as a man and look in your eyes and really genuinely mean that. But when that night of that fight comes, you're not going to be talking to Deontay Wilder. You're not going to be looking in the eyes of Deontay Wilder.
Who am I going to be looking in the eyes
You're
of?
going to be looking in the eyes of the bronze bomber. You're going to feel him as well, too, just like the feeling that you feel him now.
Is that like an alter ego or something? Or is it
it's a well-alive...
Is it like a spirit that comes into you, or what is it?
It could be it could be an alter ego. It can be a spirit.
As seen here, Wilder challenged the maker of heaven and earth, the immortal creator, to a mere mortal combat.
Maybe an ancestry spirit. Who knows? I'm part Nigerian as well,
I don't
too.
believe in all that stuff at
Well,
all.
I do.
Because Jesus Christ is my saviour, and I don't believe in all spirits and alter egos. And even mentioning stuff like that on TV, you're getting it.
And
honestly,
that's the difference
if God is with
between me and you.
Nobody can be against me. And if you're entering spirits and stuff into your body, you can't win. You've already lost. You can't beat me. I sit here today.
And Deontay would eventually reap the wages of his mockery when he fought against Tyson Fury. After mocking the Christian God, not only did Wilder suffer the significant consequence of getting knocked out by Tyson Fury, he also lost his heavyweight champion title in that fight. Number 5, Lady Gaga. In 2011, Lady Gaga released the song Judas, which caused a major backlash from Christians around the world. In the song, she compares her love for Judas to a kind of betrayal of Jesus, even portraying herself as Mary Magdalene in the music video. To many, this was a grievous disrespect and even a blasphemy to God. After that, started facing severe consequences for her actions. Notice the moment her props man hit her hard on the head. But that wouldn't be the only tragedy of the night. Just as she began singing Judas, unexpectedly, something very peculiar occurred. Yes, she fell off the stage. You might be wondering, could this just be a coincidence? It could be, but why did it happen again at another concert? Notice that she fell once more. It might appear to be a misfortune, or it might be, as many have deduced.
Let's go!
But let me pose a question. Why do you think Lady Gaga fell for the third time during another performance? Could it be too much of a coincidence? And why does it always happen during the same song, Judas? Number 4, Madonna. One time, the singer Madonna was performing at an award show. She was surrounded by people dressed up like demons, with horns on their heads, and everything had a scary red color. Madonna was making fun of God during her performance, which she often did. Suddenly, she tripped and fell right off the stage. After it happened, Madonna talked about her injury in an interview afterward. She further revealed in a later interview that she didn't hurt her, but although she hit her head.
I'm here to give thanks to all the rebels out there forging a new path and taking the heat for all of it. You guys need to know, all you troublemakers out there, you need to know that your fearlessness does not go unnoticed.
But it didn't end there. In an earlier photo, Madonna was shown as Jesus at the Last Supper, with 12 female followers around her instead of the original 12 male disciples. These images are highly disrespectful and even evil towards a Christian faith.
People say that I'm so controversial.
Nothing says controversy quite like Madonna getting the last laugh.
You know, kind of sticks and stones can break my bones, but names can never hurt me.
Now here's the backstory. Earlier this month at the Grammys, Madge introduced Kim Petras and Sam Smith's performance.
Connor, how good is it to be here tonight?
Pretty good.
But instead of focusing on Madonna's empowering speech about inclusivity, some viewers focused on Madonna's face and took aim at her appearance. Madge called out the criticism.
Whether Madonna's fall was just a coincidence or not, we can be sure that unless she sincerely apologizes and stops mocking God, she may keep facing God's severe judgment in the end. Number 3, Conor McGregor. When one of Conor's combat partners was seen on camera boasting that he could defeat every man that God had ever created, Conor added his sinister spin, declaring that he could even defeat God.
What's your prediction for the fight? Like, what do you think is going to go down?
I don't think he'll see the second round.
You think so?
I don't think he'll make it to the second.
KO first round?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, I hope so, man.
Damaging blows in the first round. If he can withstand that, he could quit on the stool. Someone's telling me he might quit on the stool.
I hope so.
Not answer the bell for the second. Or maybe not quit on the stool, but be forced out of the contest because he can't continue.
This is how it happened. Conor was asked how he would like himself versus Jesus in the octagon. This is what he responded.
How would you versus Jesus in the octagon? How would he fare?
Me versus Jesus in the octagon.
Welcome to TMZ.
How would me versus Jesus in the octagon? I tell you what, there's not a man alive that can beat me. But Jesus ain't alive, is he? So I don't know. Maybe he could come back from the dead. I don't know. I'd still whoop his ass.
Conor McGregor was one of the best mixed martial artists in the Ultimate fighters like Dustin Poirier and Chad Mendes in the UFC.
Do you hope Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez will get back together? Are you rooting for that?
Sure, why not? Young love. I celebrate young love. I wish Justin and Selena well.
Mate, you don't need my luck, but good luck on a couple weekends' time. You'll kill it.
Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it.
Man.
Thank you.
But shockingly, immediately after disrespecting God, he lost to another wrestler, Nate Diaz. They fought twice, with Diaz winning the first fight via rear naked choke submission at UFC 196 in 2016, a reminder to never invoke the name of the Lord in vain. Number 2, Kendrick Lamar. The entirety of Kendrick Lamar's Glastonbury performance is the exact opposite of what Jesus did on the cross.
No matter what you're going through, imperfection is beautiful. I wear this crown. They judge Christ. They judge you, they judge Christ. They judge you, they judge Christ. I wear this as a representation so you'll never forget one of the greatest prophets that ever walked the earth. They judge you.
Yes, the extravagant crown of thorns designed by Tiffany & Company and containing 8,000 diamonds is glamorous. But the crown of thorns placed on Jesus was anything but. It was smashed into his skull, twisted into his brows, and made him look so disgusting that people beat their chests and were unable to look at him.
During Kendrick's recent string of European performances, including his surprise medley at Louis Vuitton's Paris Fashion Week show and his powerful headlining performance at Glastonbury Festival. A closer look at the crown of thorns reveals just how impressive it really is. In a story published on Sunday, June 26th, British Vogue details the backstory behind Kendrick's current favorite accessory, including the extraordinary materials and manpower that went into making it. The custom diamond-encrusted titanium crown is a collaboration between Kendrick, his longtime manager, and
Kendrick Lamar's message that day was the same as many other woke musicians protesting what had just happened in the United States. His platform was gorgeous and costly, and it was shared with many other A-list celebrities. But Christ's stage was Golgotha, the location of the skull. The only people who shared that stage were the worst criminals ever. And when he was on that stage, there was nothing thrilling, nothing beautiful, no. Number 1. At the 82nd Golden Globe Awards on January 5th, 2025, host Nikki Glaser made outrageous remarks on the absence of gratitude towards God in winter speeches.
Show recap, and I'm here on the floor with all of my peers, just go with it, and this is so exciting because everywhere you look there's a fanning. Elle, Dakota, Peyton, the air is thick with the smell of signature fragrances and the lingering stench of ballroom salmon. Ballroom salmon is actually the name of Stanley Tucci's new cologne, now available at Buca di Beppo. So much has already happened in the first half, and the acceptance speeches have been on fire.
Nikki's criticism of the secularism in Hollywood may be seemingly innocent to many, but to others, it exposes the stark hypocrisy in Hollywood and the industry's stance on faith.
Who got shouted out the most? Let's look at the numbers. All right, cast and crew are leading the way with 11 mentions. Moms are holding strong with 3 shout-outs. God, creator of the universe, 0 mentions. And Mario Lopez, host of Access Hollywood, 1. All right, no surprise in this godless town.
Now, what happened after Nikki's derogatory statements of the ceremony was so remarkable many describe it as divine judgment against those who ridicule God's name. Tragically, just 2 days later, devastating wildfires erupted in Los Angeles and Hollywood Hill, leading to the destruction of over 12,000 structures and at least 25 fatalities.
We are looking at Skyfox over the Hollywood Hills. So during the time that press conference happened, there was a new fire that broke out in the Hollywood Hills. It was so dramatic that Kristen Crowley, the LAFD fire chief, had to leave the press conference to work with her crews on strategizing how to try to put this fire out.
The Pacific Palisades, one of the wealthiest communities in the U.S., is experiencing the worst fire in its history. Situated at the foothills of the Santa Monica Mountains, the Palisades typically escape damage as Santa Ana winds blow past, since the winds will usually blow any fire up to the north. However, this time,
the proximity of these events and the timing prompted some to draw connections between the industry's perceived irreverence and the calamity, suggesting it as a form of divine retribution.
Now to Los Angeles, a city that is battling one of the largest wildfires in U.S. history. The flames remain uncontained. Close to 180,000 residents have been evacuated. As the fire engulfs more homes and buildings, at least 10 people have died, 10,000 buildings have been destroyed, and another 60,000 are at risk.
The wildfires profoundly affected Hollywood, with numerous celebrities losing their homes and several award ceremonies postponed or canceled. Actress Jean Smart advocated for networks to forego televising award shows, urging donations to fire relief efforts instead.
Hack star Jean Smart is urging networks to forego airing upcoming Hollywood award shows
and to donate to the victims and firefighters of the LA wildfires instead. Smart shared this post on Instagram that reads, "Attention. With all due respect, during Hollywood's season of celebration, I hope any of the networks televising the upcoming awards will seriously consider not televising them and donating the revenue they would have garnered to victims of the fires and the firefighters." She didn't name specific award shows or dollar amounts.
What do you think of these celebrities and the consequences they face for talking down on God? Kindly let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't hesitate to like and subscribe for more videos like this.